Hello to the viewers of Sky Multi-Asset Finance. My name is Crypto Shumsi, and I'm here with another video bringing you TA from the crypto markets about Bitcoin and the markets in general. So as you can tell, I have upgraded my camera from my potato camera on my laptop. We now have a better camera and we have a lot to cover in this video. So let's get right into the TA. Just a quick recap to our previous video. If you remember, I mentioned how often we can find confluences between DXY, which is the dollar index, DXY, and the Bitcoin chart, and that helps us plan our trades because often what happens is when one pumps, the other dumps, right? So let's just look at these lines. Bitcoin initially had a pump and then a little bit of a consolidation at around 32,000, and then Bitcoin had a dump and then a small little pump again, right? So just keep that in mind. You can cross-check these dates to see if I'm lying or not. That's a little bit of a homework that I'm going to give you. And let's go to the DXY chart. Right, so green is when Bitcoin pumps. This is where DXY is coming down. Again, you can cross-check my dates if you think I'm lying. This is when DXY is coming down and Bitcoin is going up. So if you do some TA on DXY and you see that there's a strong downtrend, you can probably bank on some longs in Bitcoin. This is where DXY goes up to our point of resistance, which was previous support over here, and historical resistance, which we've discussed since 2017. This point has been holding pretty strongly, and it's acting as resistance now. So big pump and in DXY, big dump in Bitcoin. And then Bitcoin had a small little rally, so we had a small little pullback in DXY, and now DXY is trying to claim this region again. I think if there's enough buy pressure in DXY, we can probably claim this range. And what happens when we claim this range? There isn't a lot of trading that happens in this range because you either shoot straight up or you shoot straight down. So if we can claim this, we're probably going to move over here and then try use this the top of this band as support again, like we did in these regions. And if that happens, Bitcoin is probably going to fall as DXY goes up. So you can prepare some shorts, right? So just keep that in mind. That's just a little bit of recap from the previous video. Now let's get into the rest of the show. All right, guys, so here we have the Bitcoin chart, which looks kind of ugly, but I'll explain what's happening. Let me just get rid of this line over here. This bearish pennant, by the way, is invalidated, so I'm going to remove it, but just for the sake of reference, I have it here now. I have also sketched a Fibonacci retracement from the top of this range to the bottom of this range. Because this is a downtrend, we go from top to bottom. And as you can see, the price of Bitcoin sort of consolidated around this 0.5 level, which is about approximately 32,000, and we came back down to test this area as support, couldn't hold the support, plummeted down, and now we're ranging again. This is like the most boring ranging market ever, but it's great for traders because if you find a range, you can sell the top and buy the bottom like we discussed in the previous videos. A little bit of recap for you about what we said in the previous video on Sky Multi-Asset Finance's YouTube channel. If somehow we can claim this 30,600 level and close above it, then I would honestly then invalidate this bearish pennant, and I would probably think about putting a long so we can try claim those 32,000, 33,000 areas for somewhat of a relief. You might be able to sell them at 2-3% profit or maybe even at break even because the macro trend is facing downwards. So you should play your cards very, very carefully in this area. So that's our first scenario. We see some sort of a relief rally over here and possibly come back down, test this area again for support, maybe break it and come all the way back down here again. Right, so one of the scenarios played out. It wasn't perfect, but we saw our bounce to about 32,000, which was exit liquidity. So to a certain extent, you had your little 1 to 2% pump, which again, like I said, if you want to front run this, you can front run this from here, which was a 8% pump. Or if you want to be more conservative, wait for a 4-hour closure, candle closure above this pattern, which this was your cue. This was a 4-hour closure. You're long over here. And even if you close it at the fib or you close it at 32,000 flat, you make about 4 to 5% profit, which is very good for Bitcoin in this market. I also said that the price is going to come down and try to test this for support. And if it can't hold, it's going to plummet. It didn't plummet properly, but it did fall below. So some shorts here would definitely been entertained. Also because it's the top of this range and you can expect some sort of resistance over here. Also in confluence with the fib. Right. Now let me show you how at Sky we made some cash with this little move in Bitcoin. For the conservative people and for the people that are a little bit more risk taking. So we mentioned a couple of coins like RMRK or Netvrk. Now, if you wanted to front run, you could have gotten in about 29th of May, somewhere around here, into RMRK, and you would have made approximately 20% if you perfectly somehow sold at the top, which no one ever does. But even if you went halfway, 7%. even if you bought the bottom, you're still 7% up, which is amazing. 7 to 8% profit in a matter of a day and 8 hours is amazing. Now, Netvrk, as you can see, looks like a bit more manipulated, again, because this is a risky asset. It's a low market cap coin, so it can easily be manipulated, but doesn't stop us from making money. If you front ran it, you could have made at the top, again, no one ever sells at the top, but you could have made about 20%. Even if you set your take profit at 10%, you could have easily touched the 10%. If you waited for Bitcoin to break above the bearish pennant and close a 4-hour candle above it, which is what we said is going to be our validation point for us to enter a long position, then you would have still been able to clock a 10% if you placed a sell order at 10% or 5%, or you had two chances to make approximately 65%. So Netvrk gave you some decent returns. Then we had PYR. PYR was the same exact thing. Not as lucrative, but again, 29th of May, if you sort of front ran it from somewhere here, you could have caught this initial pump, which frankly, I didn't. I had my buy order for PYR around 3.5, which I couldn't hit, but I mean, I'm not mad at it. Hopefully some of you guys made money. So if you front ran it, you could have made about 13 to 15%. If you waited for Bitcoin to close, you buy on this candle, could have still made about another 10%. So there's no excuse for you to make losses in the bear market. Now, I'm not trying to be insensitive, but there's no excuse for you to say that you don't have resources to make money, because Sky Multi-Asset Finance is providing you those resources. All right, guys, so where is Bitcoin going to go now? I'll be honest, I do not know. I'm just going to give you my thought process and my analysis, and hopefully that helps you make a decision for yourself. Because often, or not often rather, always, I go into the market with an unbiased mind and let my analysis make my decisions for me. Right now, I'll be honest, I am pretty neutral because Bitcoin hasn't done anything that makes me overly bullish or overly bearish. So I'm waiting for the price action to do something. Now, a couple of trades that you can take, and this is historically what happens over the weekends. Over the weekends, we usually get these scam pumps. So let's say tomorrow, which is Sunday, or today, which is Sunday, whatever time this video gets posted, Bitcoin has a little pump to about $30,000. Our CME gap is 29,500. I have seen, with my past experience, more often than not, the CME gap closes on market open. So if you see Bitcoin at 30,000 and market's about to open, it is a rather safe bet to place a short over here until this 29,500 point. At least that's how I do my trades. I'm being completely transparent, completely honest with you. It is a high risk play, but it has rewarded me, so I have to share it with you. So that is one thing that I'm doing. Otherwise, I'm just going to wait until Monday, see where the market goes, and let it find a direction. Now for the analysis. So we have some EMA ribbons. As you can see, we are finding some resistance with these gray EMA ribbons over here, all the way up to the 30,000 level. If we can claim these, then we can then turn them into support. As you can see over here, they turn blue, and you can basically ride the EMA waves and use them as support, or the bottom line of your support rather. So that's one thing I'm doing, waiting for this flip up or waiting for a rejection from these EMAs. So that is the first thing that I'm doing. Now, on a more mature time frame, the 12-hour time frame, I'm going to pull out my market cipher B and show you what's happening over here. I'm going to explain everything real quick. Hope you don't freak out. So this red thing that you see, this red little curve, is money flow. And when money flow is moving like this, like a bowl shape upwards, it means money flow is eventually going to move from red to green. As you can see, green moves into red and red moves into green, because the market always moves in oscillations. I can zoom out for you if you want. So we had a red, then we had a green. Some of them are cleaner than the others, and others are just nasty. So this is what I'm looking at. Red money flow looks bullish. Okay, so we have 1 point for the bulls right now on the 12-hour. Momentum printed a red dot, which is bearish, and we are heading downwards in momentum on the 12-hour, which is bearish, because the 12-hour is a rather mature time frame, and what happens here usually sticks around. Right. So momentum, blue momentum, is heading down. That is bearish. So we have one for bulls and one for bears. VWAP, which is yellow, is currently in the negative. It is pointing upwards, but it is still in the negative. So it's more likely that it turns down with the momentum. So that is bearish. So we have 2 points to the bears. And this feels like a basketball match. So RSIs, we have our stochastic RSI and our normal RSI. Two RSIs, and they're split. Split RSIs are usually a sign of weakness, and they are sort of, they have peaked at about 80. and about 25 respectively, and they are coming downwards in my opinion. So I would say this is fairly bearish. So overall, 12-hour shows bearish, and I'll be honest, I don't know what to make of it right now. If you want, you can front run this, maybe try find a short over Sunday if we see a little dump post CME, or if we see a pump, that might be a great entry for a dump. One thing you can also do on Monday is go to this website called CNN Business, where you can find the pre-market opens, and you can basically try and see, okay, S&P 500 is currently negative. This is Monday, by the way. On Monday, you see S&P 500 is negative, Dow Jones Future is negative, Nasdaq is negative. So there's a high likelihood that the S&P 500 opens negative. So there might be some reading of a sentiment in the market that you can then use to gauge whether you want to go long or you want to go short. But for the most part, we are currently chopping in this range. And for now, I'm just waiting for a range resolution. I'm just waiting for either this break to the upside or this break to the downside, where I can then finally find some direction, find some volatility to trade. Because as traders, we need volatility. And what you don't want to do is just flop around and just try long here, and then when it goes down, oh no, the price is going down, let me close my long, and then it bounces up. And then try short here, and the price goes up a little bit, oh, we're going to the moon, we're going to 35,000, and then you close your short, and then it bounces down here. Just wait. Be patient, and you'll find the trades. Don't force a trade, let the trade come to you, because it often does. Just keep your eyes open. And then again, the same strategy that we use with Dixie, use that same strategy with the S&P 500 on Monday when the market's open. Look for confluences, and then look for shorts and longs on coins like ADA, because often these coins, they respect price action a lot more than Bitcoin does. Look at this Fibonacci retracement that I retraced from the bottom of the range to the top of the range, and perfect bounce over here for a long, perfect rejection over here for a short off the 618. So you can still trade in these markets, you can still scalp, but as you can see, most of these coins have gone flatline this weekend. There's not a lot of trading going, so don't hurt your portfolio. Rather sit back and let the price action play out, and then make a decision. So this was just a video to recap, to show you about everything that's been happening in the market, how you can make a good decision going forward, and just asking you to relax. There's not much happening right now. Wait for Bitcoin to do something. Wait for the markets to do something. Wait for the Dixie to do something. Maybe, again, going back to Dixie real quick, if Dixie reclaims this area of resistance, the red box that we've been talking about, if Dixie reclaims this, then maybe short Bitcoin, because it's probably going to go back up like it did over here. No resistance at all. Falling straight down, no resistance at all. Falling basically straight down, no resistance at all. So that's how you should plan your trades. But for the most part, right now, I am doing nothing. I'm sitting on my hands. I made my trades with PYR, with Netvrk, with RMRK, with a little bit of FTM when I shorted the diagonal line. And right now, I'm just chilling, sitting, waiting for price action to unfold rather. So hope this was helpful. Hope you guys understand a little bit more of my psychology of how I trade and how we do things here at Sky Multi-Asset Finance. Hopefully you can find a decision for yourself if you're bearish or if you're bullish based on the market cipher indicator and a couple of things that I showed you, a couple of altcoins that I showed you, and you can, hopefully that helps you find a strategy as well, because like I said, you don't always have to trade Bitcoin with leverage, without leverage. There's always ways to make money in the market, going up, going down. You just have to be at the right place at the right time. And how do you know that you're at the right place at the right time? You keep up with Sky Multi-Asset Finance. Anyways, thank you for watching. This has been Crypto Shumsi, and we'll see you in the next video.